Left this on the love seat. Going out. Speaking of which, no, I'm jealous because you wasn't talking about me. I'm talking to a friend. I just woke up. Sorry. I'm going to get in the bath in a minute. It's 2 p.m. Anyway. Hold on. I got some, okay, I want to show you this. I got my iPad, right? Keep it trying. Anyway, I want to show you just a cool feature on my Bible. I don't know if I should be showing you all my iPad apps. I started drinking soda and stuff. I have pimples and stuff. I think that's what it's from. I'm not sure what it's from. I was at park. I was eating all kind of garbage. Hold on. I can't figure it out. It's not there. Oh, there it is. Check this out. Check this out. Hold on. See that little... I don't know if it was there before, but I love this. And I mentioned to these people, this is a Bible, the Holy Bible, on my iPad. We use this in church. And it's a good thing. And usually I always, on my Facebook, I let people know when I'm in church. You know, I'm just kind of promoting the church, not me. Okay. They'll tell me. Anyway. So anyway, I want to show you this.
John 8. Jesus went unto the Mount of Olives, and early in the morning he came again into the temple, and all the people came unto him, and he sat down and taught them. And the scribes and Pharisees brought unto him a woman taken in adultery. And when they had set her in the midst, they say unto him, Master, this woman was taken in adultery in the very act. Now Moses in the law commanded us that such should be stoned. But what sayest thou? This they said, tempting him, that they might have to accuse him.
Tempting him, so that they might have to accuse. Okay, that was random, right? But this is my point I wanted to say. Basically, that they said this, trying to tempt him. It's probably said you should not tempt the Lord thy God. All right, but they said this to tempt him, so that they can accuse him of doing something wrong. And that's the point of my vlog, is that I thought that, see, I didn't know I was going to go to that particular one. But my point is that they knew who he was. They knew who he was, and they were trying to kill him. Meaning, they knew he was the Son of God. They knew he was the Messiah. They were trying to trick him into, now it doesn't say it there, but because of the many things that he had done, they knew that this was the Son of God. And that's my point, is that I got into a conversation the other day, or a text or a debate, a discussion with somebody on my YouTube. And so so it's either they're atheists, or the interest of their interests is better that they believe, in order to have what they want, they prefer not to believe in God at all. You know, right or wrong, they prefer that no, if I can't have what I want, then screw everybody, God included. Okay, so, and screw society, screw what you think and anything. And see, that's my point. So I got into a debate with this guy, and he kept saying that we couldn't agree. And so he put a whole list of stuff about why he didn't believe in God and Adam and Eve and stuff like that. And so usually when somebody puts a whole list of stuff, I don't even deal with it. I deal with the first thing. And the first thing was Adam and Eve. And he mentioned that God was wrong because they mentioned all these things. That God was wrong because if he knew God, if he knew that Adam and Eve would eat the apple, why did he give them the apple? Because before that, he gave them choice. He gave everybody choice. And so you have some people who say that you don't have a choice in what you do. You don't have a choice in your sexuality. You don't have a choice in anything. They believe that, and so Christians believe that there's choice. That the first thing they claim they're free thinkers, the but but then they say you don't have choice about stuff. So they don't, it's that kind of oxymoronic or contradiction or whatever the more politically or softer word is for that. But basically, he said, and Christians always believe you have a choice. So therefore, there's always free will. So in that we couldn't agree on the simple fact that he said Adam and Eve doesn't have enough intelligence to even decide. That if they were blissful and things like that, that they didn't have enough intelligence. So the point of it was that we couldn't agree. We couldn't have an argument because we couldn't agree on what's common sense. To me, it's common sense that you could take certain things for granted. It's common, it's understood, it's basic ground that if God, an omnipotent God, gave you a choice, then you had to be capable of making a choice. Meaning you could tell what's right from what's wrong, And if what's right and what's wrong is somebody, a loving, omnipotent God who tells you, who knows all things, says don't eat it, you could trust in his word, don't eat it. Because he gave you the sun, the moon, the clouds, the sea, the food, the fruit. He says, and everything else you can eat. Everything else you can eat. So they had a choice. Now, also they had a choice because if the devil came and tempted them, he tempted them on their choice. He didn't do it. He didn't force them to eat it. He gave them a choice, but he made it with a lies and a deception. He made their choice unequal. So he lied and put all these things to it that to make it okay, yeah, well, that to confuse your reasoning, and so your choice, your reasoning wasn't sound in making the choice. So that's my point. One of my problems is that I believe, here's where I'm at fault. I believe that if you knew the correct information, if you knew that this was bad for you, if you knew that it was not appropriate, if it was obviously stated in the facts that, this is quite obvious since, let's say homosexuality, I was just talking to another point. I brought up the point real quick. Let me interject this. That, okay, obviously, they liken it to racial profiling. But one of the things about racial profiling that proved themselves wrong through biology is that white racist supremacists at the time said that, or those racist supremacists said that that if you black people are subhuman and that they are a form of a monkey, right? They're more of a monkey, right? Or gorilla or whatever. And so they're subhuman or whatever. And so because they're subhuman, because they're not human and animals, that they cannot, they're subhuman. So the law of biology and life itself prove it wrong because only humans can have sex, can create life with humans and create birth. So that is and anything other would be an abomination. Okay, so that was obvious fact. So life itself in biology proved it wrong because blacks and whites, you get them together, they can't stop having babies, right? So, so obviously, when you have a form of sex that doesn't create, like homosexuality, doesn't create life, and biology, through biology. So that's the main point of my reasoning, is through biology, is that if you can't create life, it's not that you're subhuman, is that the activity is not a form is not a form that creates humanity. Period. That's factual. That's biology. That's common law. That's common sense. That's my point. Common sense don't make a difference to certain people. These people know. They already know it's wrong. The Pharisees knew who Christ was. I mean, they wanted to kill him because they wanted to keep their power. They wanted to keep their office. Now, let me just clear this up. So I'm just tying it all together, okay? So I don't think that you're subhuman if you're homosexual. I think the activity is not the best. The sexual activity is not the way God planned it. Okay, I don't think because you do that. I don't think that it is intercourse. It is intercourse over life. It doesn't create society. So there is not a need, because that's one of the bases of marriage. If you say it's because of love, well, people who are in adulterous relationships are in love with each other, and who are you to say that they're wrong? Because if you could prove what love is, you can prove what God is, because God is love. You can't prove either. Again, sidetrack. I want to get on my point. My point is, me and this guy could not even agree with what is common sense. So what I see as plain as day, that the laws of life agree with this. Man, that's my point. Is that it's not these people who are making the laws, like the Pharisees. They know the difference between right and wrong. They know it. They know that these homosexual special interest groups paid them money, that that it is not a form of civil rights. Again, me trying to explain that, you have to have a license. You have to have physical attributes. You have to be physically capable to drive a car. In order, your eyes got to be right? You got to be able to see in order to drive a car. You cannot be a blind person and drive a car. There's a physical actual requirement and rules and regulations and restrictions. You have to be a certain age for marriage. You can't be married to 10 people at the same time. There's restrictions on marriage. It's not you automatically get married because you're human. You don't automatically create life with somebody else because you sleep it with them. There's rules and regulations, and there's a procedure into creating life. That's my point. My point is when a society starts to take those rules and regulations that don't work, that don't create life, and add and trump up the wrong side, add false information to deceive, and to to cloud people's judgment, to make the wrong choices. So that's my message, is that, there's a lot of misinformation and a lot of clouding of what's actual truth to actually make people make the wrong choices. But that's not happening with the kangaroo court that's in session. These people, most of humanity would tell you, no, it doesn't make sense. And it's wrong. There's no need to create law. Okay, you're a man, you're a woman, and you got pregnant by another man, and now you want another woman to take care of you, who wants to have sex with you, to provide for you, and now you want that to be conceive benefits, to create benefits. No, get your business right with your man, or have sex with the right people, or wait until you married to your man in order so that he can take care of your kids from the get-go. That's how the procedure works, so that it can work for you. So you didn't do the right thing from the get-go. And now you're trying to make it like, now you're doing all these subsidiary things. And I have a problem with that. I have a problem with people who won't do the right thing, just, won't do the right thing from the get-go and then get you involved in order to subsidize what they're not doing right. Anyway, God bless you all. Love you all. Like I said, my man, speaking of blind people, the guy who Jesus healed, Jesus had healed 15 minutes. Jesus had healed him, and nobody has ever healed anybody. This was said. It says it in the scripture that this is the Messiah. He can heal those. When John was in jail and said, "Should we look for another one?" Tell him. Jesus said, "Tell him the blind sees. The blind cannot see." A blind man was in this kangaroo court. They pulled him in the middle of the night, and because they were trying to, judge Jesus, condemn him. In order to keep, their positions and stuff like that. And so that's what they're doing now. Anyway, he said, what power did he do this? Did he do this from the power of the devil? He said, I don't know what power he did. All I know is I can see now. This man healed me. He blessed me, and I love him for it. God bless you all. Love you all.